Meet the sheriffs.
Hello, enforcement agents!
Here with a High Court order today.
They work for the High Court, and if it says you're owed money, it's their job to get it.
Hey, all the keys.
I'm going to be calling a locksmith.
They can demand payment
What can you pay us now?
We're going to get the cash, are you?
Are you paying the bill?
or remove assets.
You've got 30 minutes to make the payment.
And we'll start removing stuff from the building.
7 days, and then they'll be sold at public auction.
Obstructing their work is a criminal offence.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Don't lie to me.
That's number one on.
Every year, sheriffs in England and Wales recover unpaid debts totalling more than £95 million. Coming up, as Paul Britton was recovering from cancer, he was forced out of his job.
I sobbed and sobbed and sobbed. I wasn't expecting to be treated in this manner at all. I was expected to be given support.
The courts found he'd been unfairly dismissed. Can the sheriffs get him the money he's owed?
If we can get us up to where these people are, we can get this resolved. We have a High Court writ, if need be, we get the police here and they'll escort us up there.
A motorcycle shop owes more than £7,000. When its owner won't pay, it all kicks off.
Can't remove the bike.
We can.
You can't stop us from removing the bike.
Okay. Are you going to be stopping us removing them? Because interfering with a High Court enforcement agent is an arrestable offence. Police, please.
And bar worker Joe Dent wasn't paid his wages.
They owed me £696 and it was coming up to Christmas and I wasn't able to pay for presents for my girlfriend, my family. It makes me angry thinking that people think that they can get away with this.
He was employed at a well-known celebrity hotspot. Will Rob and Gerald be able to get him what he's owed? Enforcement agents Jess Payton and Michael Edwards are on the road to Nottingham. They're about to visit a housing association that's got a big debt to pay following an employment tribunal.
We're going to Nottingham City Homes Limited, looking for £54,905.
With the employment tribunal cases, they've obviously worked there, something's gone wrong, or they've been sacked for something they shouldn't have been, maybe. So they've taken them to court, and they've been awarded a big amount on this case.
Quite a large amount, isn't it?
Yeah.
The money is owed to Paul Britton, a dedicated family man who first got a job at Nottingham City Homes back in 2010.
I was employed as a technical officer, looking after the refurbishment of houses on the electrical side, plumbing, building. Because of my age, when I joined the company, I got no intentions of leaving, and I was going to be there till I retired. It's a great place to work.
As far as Paul was concerned, he was a model employee.
I never had a day sick. I won an award for the company for innovation. My line manager used to do my appraisals and he used to say things like, you do a fabulous job.
But in 2015, Paul's career was put on hold when he was diagnosed with a serious illness.
I was diagnosed with cancer, rare cancer. At the time of the diagnosis, I was told that I'd only got a 25% chance of making it through the next 5 years. I had to have a biopsy, and then I had to have a left groin dissection. I had all my lymph nodes removed. Really, really traumatic time.
A struggle.
Paul spent a year off dealing with his illness, but as his health recovered, he began discussing with his employer his return to work. He'd hoped they'd be willing to make adjustments in his role to aid his recovery. But when the HR officer came to meet him at his house, he was presented with a very different scenario.
HR sat here and said, we're going to offer you £12,000 and let you go. I'm thinking, I want a job. That's what I want. I want my job. And I asked about reasonable adjustments, and they said, no, we've dispensed with all that. That's gone.
Paul refused the redundancy offer, and 7 weeks later, the HR team came back for another meeting. This time, they dropped an even bigger bombshell.
They produced a letter which was dated the 23rd of March, which says that my contract was terminated on the 11th of March. And they asked me to sign this letter saying that it was by mutual consent that we agreed to have my contract terminated. I didn't agree to have my contract terminated at all. And I pushed it back across the table. I said, I'm not accepting that. HR and the company director said, that is what's happened. That is it. It's the best thing for you.
Paul couldn't believe what he was hearing.
To be told that we've terminated your contract 11 days before we've come to this meeting is unforgivable. I'd already lost my job. I was out of work and I didn't even know about it.
The news hit Paul hard.
I broke down and cried. Really broke down and cried. I sobbed and sobbed and sobbed. I'm a man just getting over cancer and I wasn't expecting to be treated in this manner at all. I was expected to be given support and I got the impression that they was getting rid of me because I might be off work in the next year, 2 years, for a long period of time again.
Still struggling with his health and now jobless, Paul sunk into a deep depression.
It's caused me to break down. I thought about throwing myself under a train. You know, it was really, really tough. That was my darkest moment.
Eventually, Paul decided he should fight back with the help of Nottingham Law Centre. As the 2010 Equality Act makes it illegal for companies to discriminate against people with cancer, they helped him lodge a claim for unfair dismissal.
I made my mind up I was going to fight this and I would see it all the way through to the end. No matter what the outcome, whether I lost or whether I won, didn't matter. It was a point here to be made. I'm standing up for people like me who have cancer. It's not my fault, I didn't ask for it.
The case went to an employment tribunal. After a 3-day hearing, the court decided Paul had been unfairly dismissed, and he was awarded £45,000 in compensation. But Nottingham City Homes seemed unrepentant.
That would have been a perfect time to come to the table and say, Paul, we're so sorry. Let's sit down and try and work something out and we'll pay the award. But they didn't. They just want to dig in all the time. They're just digging in and fighting me every step of the way.
Nottingham City Homes launched an appeal, but then suddenly dropped it again 2 weeks before the hearing.
That should have been the end of the matter, as far as I was concerned. That should have been finished.
Except Nottingham City Homes never paid the award.
I wrote to Nottingham City Homes and I gave them a deadline of the December the 12th, and they wrote back to me on the 14th of December. They said they didn't think it was due for payment, and if I knew any different, I was to just let them know.
Over a year after the tribunal awarded him his settlement, Paul has now decided to hand his case to the sheriffs.
The last option was the sheriffs, because I've read that companies can sit on things for 2 or 3 years. And why should I be penalised for another 2 or 3 years? I hadn't done anything wrong.
Jess and Michael are nearing the city centre. As Nottingham City Homes Limited manages the council's housing stock, it's based inside the main council building.
Asset-wise, there might be vans about, or the biggest thing is going to be office equipment. But with cases like this, what you tend to find is you get in there, they don't want us there, it's embarrassing for them, us being there, so they tend to normally pay it. We might have to wait around half hour, 40 minutes, and if they keep us too long, we just up the pressure on them a little bit just to get it paid. But the only hassles we really have is if there's any security guards or anything who don't want to let us in, but that's not going to happen because we're coming in. So hopefully we get there, get parked up and see what happens.
Right, it's down here.
Locks of the house.
That'll do.
Nottingham City Homes.
Yeah, that's all right.
The sheriffs know that one of the biggest challenges on jobs like these at big organisations is tracking down the right person to speak to. Michael gets the ball rolling.
Hi, love.
Hello there, hi. My name's Mr. Edwards, this is Mr. Payton. That's my ID there, in case you need to see that. We're here for Nottingham City Homes Limited. We've got a High Court writ for an outstanding balance that needs to be paid today.
We need someone from their accounts or whatever to come down and see us, like ASAP. No, we haven't got an appointment. Obviously, you don't want us in here, and we don't want to be in here too long. So if we can get someone down and then we can get this paid, we'll be gone. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, perfect, thanks.
Soon, Michael is handed the phone and once again explains the purpose of his visit.
Hello there. I have a High Court writ here for Nottingham City Homes Limited, and basically it's an employment tribunal. Somebody's taken Nottingham City Homes to court, has been awarded quite a substantial amount of money, and we're here to collect that today, otherwise start removing assets from the address. It's putting me through to another department at the moment.
Michael thought he was talking to someone who could deal with the writ, but instead he's been put on hold. A few minutes later, he's through to someone else.
Hello there.
But she doesn't know anything about it either.
They haven't got a clue about what's going on, so I'll try and find the right person at the moment. That's the hardest part.
Normally quite keen to get rid of us, but we don't seem to be able to get through to anyone. It's just trying to get hold of someone that seems to be interested at the moment.
Enforcement agents are by law allowed to go where they like in a commercial building. And after being kept on hold for 10 minutes, Jess is getting itchy feet.
What? Can I just have a quick word, please, sir? If we can get us up to where these people are, we can get this resolved, but no one seems to be talking to us. We have a High Court writ, if need be, we get the police here and they'll escort us up there. When we have a warrant, we can literally walk through there and no one can stop us. We don't want to go down that road. We'd rather someone come down and sort it out.
Someone's coming down anyway.
Okay, it's lovely.
25 minutes after the sheriffs arrived, someone does finally come to see them.
Hello there.
Paperwork.
Yeah, we can give you the letter here. Then get right down the amounts outstanding. Are you from the legal department then, or accounts?
Legal department, no, I'm from the facilities team.
Right, okay, so you're just to do with the building here, yeah?
I manage the building.
And are you even part of Nottingham City Homes?
No.
No, okay.
It seems that Nottingham City Homes still haven't made an appearance. Instead, the building manager's been left to deal with the sheriffs, and she's getting rattled.
About being reasonable.
Yes, fine, yeah.
But threatening to jump over there.
We're not threatening. So we've been stood here half an hour and nothing's happened. Right.
Well, I didn't know you were here half an hour. So
We have been, yeah.
Okay, I don't want anyone being intimidated.
We're not intimidating anyone.
I know that they need some documentation to validate who you are.
That's fine.
That's my ID there.
That's mine on there. So is anyone coming down?
Yeah, ask for somebody to come down.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Later, Jess and Michael are frustrated again.
Are you from Nottingham City Homes, yeah?
I'm not, I'm from the City Council, the media team.
But can they get Paul his money?
They've already called 2 security guards in there, extra, to say we're not going in there.
Today, enforcement agent Tommy Coyle is pursuing a debt in West London.
We're making our way to a limited company, Uno Motorcycles Limited. Checked on Google Maps and it appears to be a commercial address, which we always like.
Uno Motorcycles Limited was taken to court by a customer who says he took his bike in for repair and the company never gave it back. Uno Motorcycles didn't defend the case and they now owe £7,120.
There we go, Uno Motorcycles. That's it. Right, let's go have a look.
Tommy heads into the workshop to see if he can find someone that can deal with the debt.
You're right. Hello there, Uno Motorcycles UK Limited?
Yeah.
That's yourselves. There's my identification.
High Court enforcement agent. I've got a High Court writ for the company today.
I have a letter from the court.
From the court?
Yeah.
Right, OK, let's have a look at it for you.
The man produces a document stored on his phone, which shows the company's attempting to appeal the judgment.
It's an application to go back to court. The problem you have, this is a live court order. I don't know if you want to get the director on the phone or you want me to speak to his solicitor.
The mechanic rings his boss, a Mr. Ali.
Hello, sir.
But when Tommy explains the situation...
Yeah, the problem with that, I've just read it, it's just an application.
The debtor thinks he knows better.
Sir, I've been doing this 14 years. I know exactly what you need to stop enforcement. You need a stay. And if you haven't got a paperwork that's saying this writ is stayed with no enforcement action on, we're to continue, because it's a live court writ.
Mr. Ali says he can't pay, and he won't.
We do have an issue then, because they'll want us to enforce it today. The only thing we could do is remove assets.
Now the debtor tries a different tack. He says the address on the paperwork he's been sent says number 62 instead of number 64, and so the writ can't be enforced. Tommy isn't about to let the debtor off the hook on a technicality.
I know, sir, but the thing about it, you have knowledge of this, so it wouldn't matter. You speak to your solicitor, but honestly, we would have to carry on. That wouldn't stand. We'll give you another 15 minutes, and then we do need to continue if we're not going to get this paid. Currently, it's at 7,120. If we can't get it paid and we have to start removing, it goes to 8,181. All right, sir, I'll speak to you in a bit. The different address will have an effect if they haven't received the notice of enforcement and had no knowledge of the stage it was at. But he's well aware of it from the application they put in. And the other thing, I've just checked the file, we also have 64 down as an enforcement address. So we have both addresses.
As Mr. Ali doesn't seem willing to pay, Tommy presses on and starts listing assets. He's hardly spoilt for choice, but Tommy knows that the tyres, parts and machinery here are all worth something. The juiciest assets, however, are in the shop part of the business. It's shut, and no one here seems to have the key.
If it's in there, you want to be in, really, isn't it? If we need to today, obviously we can force entry. It's been commercial property, so hopefully it doesn't come to that and we can get a resolution.
In the meantime, Tommy heads back inside to see if there's any news from Mr. Ali.
Hello there. Yeah, have you spoken to your solicitor? Because we're being instructed to carry on now.
Now Mr. Ali comes up with a different reason not to pay. He says the workshop isn't run by his company after all, and the mechanics here are all self-employed. Tommy's not so sure.
Why all the gentlemen here got Uno Motorcycles t-shirts on? Why is there business cards for Uno Motorcycles all inside here? No, your business cards are all over here, so don't you treat me for a fool. And I am going to be ringing a truck to come here, and whatever you can't show me evidence of it belongs to, we'll be removing from here today. The balance is now going to be 8,181.
With no real offer of payment in sight, Tommy orders the truck. And the mechanics start to get rattled.
This is our equipment, sir.
Have you got documentation I can see today and I'll take it off the list?
No, we bought it second hand from the eBay.
So you've got no proof that you brought it?
No.
Unfortunately, we have to list it down.
This is our equipment. This is we bought it by ourselves.
I appreciate.
It's our money. You're not gonna take our money. No way.
Then unfortunately, we'll have the police here.
No, you call the police if you want. I can push you physically outside.
You can't, sir, and then you'll be done for assault as well. If you're threatening a High Court enforcement agent,
I'm not threatening.
You threaten to push me out the door.
Realising what's about to happen, the mechanics do start digging out some paperwork, including receipts for most of the tools here. Tommy's not completely out of options just yet, but when one of the mechanics finally offers to pay something, he is willing to cut a deal.
If you want, I can pay you from my pocket a bit. No, 1,800.
That wouldn't do it. It's not enough. This is what we're going to need to do. £2,000. If you pay that now, I'll stop the van coming, and we're going to give to the 28th. If it's not resolved, then we'll be back.
Okay, let me try to get that 2,000 for you.
Right.
The mechanic asks someone to transfer him some funds so he can make the payment. And while they wait, he explains why Uno Motorcycles refused to return the claimant's bike.
We take the bike from him, we clean it, we make it work, everything's perfect, and we contact him, said to him, listen, the bike is done. He came after 1 year and a half. He came back, I want my back back. We said to him, okay, pay us the storage. Nearly £4,000, £5,000. We're not parking space here.
When the mechanic's money comes through,
that's it.
He makes the £2,000 payment and Tommy is on his way.
All sorted, so you got till the 11th. Speak to Mr. Ali, tell him he needs to sort it out, or we will be back. All right? All right, thanks for your time today.
Thank you very much.
All right, you take care of yourself. The majority of the goods here do belong to the guys working on the ground here, but either way, we managed to get the £2,000 today, which was a good result. Due to the complications with the third-party claims. I'm going to give a couple of weeks to resolve this matter by full payment, or it'll be settled in court.
Later, when the sheriffs are forced to return to Uno motorcycles...
OK, fine, you're not paying it. We'll remove, thank you. Goodbye.
They encounter more resistance.
No, sir, it's an arrestable offence.
If you've won a county court judgment which hasn't been paid, for £66 you can get the case transferred up to the High Court, which will issue a writ for enforcement by the sheriffs.
Hello?
I'm an enforcement agent enforcing a High Court writ.
I'm here just to execute the court order.
They've got special powers.
We're going to force entry into the shop in about the next 10-15 minutes.
I have the right, under the writ, to investigate.
If you obstruct myself or my colleague, it is a criminal offence.
There's no limit on the size of the debts they can pursue.
£14 million. It's the largest job I've ever done.
He can pay it directly into our account from Spain.
If they're successful, they'll recover your money and costs from the debtor.
Thanks.
Thank you.
As well as their own fees, which are set by the government.
It was that amount there until 5:30. I don't stand here for 3 hours for nothing.
If the sheriffs can't get your money, they'll ask you to pay another £75 plus VAT to cover their costs. Jess and Michael are chasing £55,000, owed by a housing organisation called Nottingham City Homes Limited to Paul Britton, a worker who they unfairly dismissed. The company's based in the council building, where the sheriffs have been in reception for the past 40 minutes, waiting for someone from the company to come and speak to them. Finally, a man appears, but the sheriffs are about to be disappointed once again.
Are you from Nottingham City Homes, yeah?
I'm not. I'm from the City Council, the media team. So I'm here because there's a camera.
Michael can't quite believe it.
We're looking to speak to somebody in the legal department for Nottingham City Homes. We've been stuck here for nearly an hour now, just trying to get through to the department on the phone. I've given up on that now. We've got a High Court writ. It's for quite a substantial amount of money that needs to be paid today before we have to come inside the building and start looking to remove assets to cover the debt. And if we have to get police here, that's fine. Any obstruction, whoever is obstructing us from doing our job will be arrested. We need to get this sorted out as soon as possible.
But finally, it seems they might be getting somewhere.
One of the directors of NCH has said that he's happy to meet with somebody without a camera.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Our cameraman steps outside, and the sheriffs are taken into a meeting room with the director. The sheriffs are at last talking to someone with the authority to deal with the writ. But it soon becomes clear that Nottingham City Homes is not planning to settle its debt today.
We've made contact with one of the directors. He tried it on with stating he's not received a notice of enforcement, but we know we've sent it. It's all on our record. He stated that it's going to take a few days to authorise that money being paid. So we told him that we're going to have to, we'll give him half an hour. And before it escalates further and we start the removal process, it's not that much to the size of the company. So fingers crossed they come through with it. If not, we're going to have to start the removal. They've already said they're not going to let us in unless the police attend. So I've said to them they're more than welcome to give the police a call. So we'll see what comes out in the next half an hour.
The windows of the council offices are emblazoned with writing, confirming that Nottingham City Homes have received awards as Landlord of the Year and Investors in People. But this doesn't seem to have been the case for Paul Britton. And even at this late stage, the company's dragging its heels in paying him what he's owed. An hour has now passed since Michael last came outside. And it seems that since then, things have taken a turn for the worse.
So they've basically ushered us off into a side room. They've got a director, a solicitor, some note takers, building managers. The room's full of people. It's getting rather heated in there at times, to say the least. They're disputing the fees, stating they'll pay it but not the fees. They're not going to let us into the building, into their department. They've already called 2 security guards in there, extra, to say we're not going in there. But we'll be going in there if they don't pay it. So we've just got to wait and see what happens.
Shortly afterwards, Nottingham City Homes Limited finally back down. The nearly £55,000 debt is paid in full. Michael and Jess can't wait to tell Paul the news.
Hello? Hello, is that Mr. Britton?
Yes.
Hi there, this is Michael Edwards. It's regarding your Nottingham case for Nottingham City Homes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I'm just giving you a quick call to inform you that we've just attended today and we've got payment in full for you.
Oh, brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. You've made my day now.
That's,
really have made my day.
That's great. That's great
I'm
news.
so pleased about that. That's a big relief for me, that is. It really is a big relief.
Lovely job. Thank you.
Nice
Cheers.
one. Thanks for that.
Cheers. Bye.
Thanks, mate. They knew we had them banged to rights.
Yeah. Good job done. Really good one.
When I got the phone call from the sheriffs, I was ecstatic. Justice has been served, and that's what I've got from believing in the system, in the justice system, and it's believing in that I would get there at the end of the day. For the money, that has got to be put away for the retirement, but I will be making a donation to the law centre. Life will be better. I can move on indefinitely, and so could Nottingham City Homes.
A job in the restaurant and bar business can be an attractive prospect for young people looking for flexible employment. But when things go wrong, what at first seemed like enjoyable work in a glamorous environment can quickly descend into a nightmare. Tonight, High Court enforcement agents Robert Foster and Gerald Anderson are on their way to an exclusive celebrity hotspot in West London.
This evening, we're heading to the Notting Hill area of London, looking for a beach club limited trading as Beach Blanket Babylon. This we believe to be quite an upmarket restaurant, somewhere where royals have their Christmas parties and various celebs are visited over the time.
Beach Blanket Babylon was founded by restaurateur Robert Newmark, and while he was happy to roll out the red carpet for celebrities, it's a very different story for some of his former employees.
Robert Newmark is well known. There's a lot about him online and a lot about his sons online, not paying wages for quite a few members of staff. And somewhere in the region of 6 or 7 different tribunals in the last year alone, totalling over £30,000.
Tonight, Rob and Gerald are chasing the money from one of these employment tribunal cases. The money is owed to this man, Joseph Dent. He was working at the Shoreditch branch of Beach Blanket Babylon.
It was quite a snazzy bar in Shoreditch. They had a bar and a restaurant during the week, and at the weekends they also had a club on a Friday and Saturday night in the basement. They had lots of functions going on over 3 floors. And yeah, it was quite an enjoyable place to work. It was quite fun.
Joe thought it would be the perfect temporary job, giving him the flexibility to look for his next big step on the career ladder, whilst putting some money in the bank. But the reality was very different.
I was working like really long hours, 12-hour shifts, that kind of thing, weekends, and it meant that I wasn't able to spend as much time applying and interviewing for jobs.
And there were other things about the job that just didn't add up.
First amount that I got paid was in cash, which I thought was a bit dodgy for what I thought was a legitimate business. towards the end, the payments were late. And it was like, wasn't the full amounts. They paid me half of my week's wage, and then half another week. It was very messy. It wasn't like payments weren't done properly. The other people who worked there as well, they would tell me how they weren't getting paid on time as well. The manager was having to choose between paying for stock at the restaurant and paying people's wages.
Joe wanted out, so when he landed his dream job in advertising, he handed in his notice. But there was a sting in the tail.
When I left, they decided not to pay me my last 2 weeks' worth of wages. They owed me £696, and it was coming up to Christmas, and I wasn't able to pay for presents for my girlfriend, my family, and yeah, it just put me in a bad position, really.
Joe was upset about his money, but he got the sense that something else was going on. He decided to investigate online, and was shocked by what he discovered about Mr. Newmark and Beach Blanket Babylon.
I found out that there was like cases that are public record where this guy had been banned as a director of companies, discrimination cases have been put against him. How can you do that to other people?
For Joe, it's been an education in how the hospitality industry can take advantage of its workers.
I think they managed to get away with so long because there's no accountability, because it's the industry has got such a huge turnover rate. People come and go all the time. They work for a few weeks here, a few weeks there. And yeah, people just don't want to follow it through.
Feeling a growing sense of injustice, Joe decided he wasn't going to let Robert Newmark get away with it. Not just for him, but for every employee in the same situation.
I just didn't want to be taken for a fool. And, whereas other people would have given up because of the time required to be able to get your money back and get paid what you deserve, I'm a bit like with a dog with a bone, and I just didn't want to be taken for a ride. And because I know he'd done it to so many people previously as well, I just wanted to make a stand, I guess, in my own sort of small way. It was just the principle of what he'd done was just terrible. So it makes me angry thinking that people think that they can get away with this. It's not right.
Spurred into action, he brought an employment tribunal case against Robert Newmark and Beach Blanket Babylon. Finally, he got his day in court.
Yeah, I turned up to the employment tribunal. They just didn't turn up, and I really did want to face them because of everything that had happened, and didn't even have the courtesy to turn up to court. So the judge, she thought it was awful as well, and in the end, I was compensated for what I deserved. Justice had been served. I felt like, this system is in place for a reason, and it worked in this case. I'm glad I went through the process.
The judge held both Mr. Newmark and Beach Club Limited responsible for Joe's missing wages and ordered them to pay up. But months later, he still hasn't got his money.
So I'm hoping the sheriffs confront the business owners. It's taken a year of my life, and it's still not over. The sheriffs are my last hope.
Back in the van, Rob and Gerald are heading to Beach Blanket Babylon to try to get Joseph's money. Although Robert Newmark has now been banned from being a company director, it's believed he still has a hand in the business. As they're both named on the writ, the sheriffs will need to prove that either Mr. Newmark himself or Beach Club Limited are running the restaurant. As the agents make their way into the exclusive night spot, dinner service is in full swing.
Right. Is there any chance we can have a quick chat? Is there any chance we can have a quick chat? We're looking for the owner. Yeah. It's with regards to... Is it Beach Club Limited?
Beach Club Babylon.
Yeah, Beach Blanket Babylon. Beach Club Limited trading as Beach Blanket Babylon. Is that the individuals that are here?
Beach Club, yeah.
Yeah. Is the owner about at the moment?
Not right now. But
My name is Mr. Foster. All right, I'm an enforcement agent from the High Court Enforcement. Here's my ID.
Okay.
All right, I have an outstanding balance that needs to be cleared, or I'll be looking at removing goods.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's not a good thing?
No, it's not a good thing. No. I do need to speak to the director or whoever deals with your finance.
Oh, yeah, let me check every finance.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll wait here for a minute. She's confirmed it is Beach Club Limited.
It's not long before the woman returns with a more senior member of staff.
Hi. Hello, you're the manager here?
Yeah.
Hello. My name's Rob Foster. I'll just show you some ID. That's my ID.
Yeah.
All right. I'm a High Court enforcement agent. Right. Looking for a company called Beach Club Limited, trading as Beach Blanket Babylon. Is that the company that's here?
I think that was before.
Right, okay.
The manager says that the restaurant is no longer being run by Beach Club Limited.
Do you have any documentation to show who trades here at the moment?
Yes.
So any delivery invoices, your liability agreements, things like that?
Yeah. Just give me like 5 minutes. I'm going to be with you. 5 minutes.
No worries. Do you want us to wait here, or have you got a back room you want us to go to? Just a bit more out of the way, if that's all right.
Come with me, please.
The agents are shown to an area at the back of the club.
Cheers, thank you very much. So,
She thought she worked for Beach Club Babylon.
yeah. I said Beach Club Limited. And she went,
Yes.
I said Beach Club Limited trading as Beach Blanket Babylon. Yes, that's us.
Gerald and Rob are confident that the company they're looking for is still here, and soon there's more evidence.
I'm trying to pull the director.
Who's the director?
Timothy Danby.
Yeah.
Mr. Danby is the registered director of Beach Club Limited, but his office here is apparently locked, and none of the company documents Rob and Gerald need to see are accessible.
Do you have anything to hand at the moment while we wait? So your public liability, there should be a document on the wall who says who the insurer is.
These documents should be readily available, but several minutes later, they haven't materialized.
I'll have a little wander.
Buddy.
So Gerald heads upstairs to have a look around. Will he be able to find the evidence they need to get Joseph his money? In London, enforcement agents Mike Perkins and Lawrence White are about to make a second enforcement at Uno Motorcycles Limited, which owes money to a customer after failing to return his bike. When Tommy recently visited the company, he accepted a £2,000 part payment, on the condition they'd pay the remaining £6,000 within 3 weeks. But they haven't stuck to the agreement, and so the sheriffs now want payment in full.
When Tommy was there, he was interested in obviously the tools and stuff, but he had seen proof that they belonged to this self-employed mechanics. We are now attending today to look at going to the shop, selling the motorbikes. We've had a few of them come back clear from finance, so that's our biggest asset that we've got today. There it is. All right, we'll find somewhere to turn around.
Mike and Lawrence head straight for the shop, and this time the door is open.
Name's Mr. Perkins, I'm a High Court enforcement agent.
It's the same mechanic that Tommy met before.
Uno Motorcycles UK Limited.
Wait, I'm working here.
Okay, can you get the director here, please? Because we're here to remove goods today.
While the mechanic tries to get hold of the boss, Mr. Ali, Mike casts an eye over the assets.
Got jackpot here. We've got the brands of the bikes on. We've got plenty of assets here. We've got the levers and stuff, which do fetch money at auction. Obviously not more than obviously the bikes. We will be looking at taking the bikes most probably. Who's this? Is he the director? Hello, sir. My name's Mr. Perkins. I'm here today to collect £6,094.50p. Well, then I'm going to look at removing the motorbikes, OK?
Mr. Ali says he's not paying and claims the judgment against the company's been set aside.
OK, bring me the documents and I'll have a look at it to see if it is set aside. Yeah. Sir, listen to me. Yes, we can. OK, we gave you enough time to get it into court. Right, show me the set-aside paperwork now. I need to see it. Sir?
Mike's not convinced Mr. Ali really does have a set-aside. And when the mechanic returns with the paperwork, it's exactly as he thought.
The claim has been transferred to the County Court, Central London, for the court to deal with the defence application for setting aside the judgment order.
There is no set-aside. Mr. Ali doesn't want his bikes going and says they're worth far more than the debt.
Yeah, They might be worth that in the shop, but at public auction, okay, one of these bikes might only go for maybe £1,000. It depends on who's at the auction, doesn't it, sir? The balance is £6,094.50p. Okay? Okay, fine, you're not paying it. We'll remove, thank you. Goodbye. I don't want to speak to him no more.
We paid already £2,000.
The £2,000 has been taken off already. We're here to remove goods today because he didn't deal with it.
But as the sheriffs start to single out some bikes...
I've got the key for that one.
Yeah.
Key for that one.
Yeah.
The man intervenes.
No, sir, it's an arrestable offence.
And makes off with a key.
That's obviously an expensive bike. Lawrence went to go get the key, but the bloke beat Lawrence to it. He's decided to take the key for the bike. It's not going to stop us taking that bike. Obviously, this bike means a lot to him. I've got a feeling this is owned by the company. So this one's definitely going to be going today.
Now desperate to prove the bikes don't belong to the company, the worker has got one of his customers on the phone.
You can speak to the owner for the key, Max.
Yeah, speaking to someone's not
good.
We need check the name and things.
No, because a logbook doesn't prove ownership. We need to see receipts. No, it's not. Read the logbook. It says on the top, okay, this does not prove ownership. We need to see receipts that he owns that bike. That's it.
Mike and Lawrence move on from the bikes and begin to itemise all the other stock they can remove.
Defender jacket.
Defender?
Yeah.
Black and... just black, blue and black jacket.
As the goods pile up, the worker returns with a receipt which he claims shows one of the bikes is owned by someone else.
No, I'm sorry. You've just wrote that on there. Sir, you've just wrote on that because I've just rubbed the ink off.
Listen.
No.
You just tried to take everything by...
We're not silly. Okay, please don't play games with me.
I'm not playing games.
You are playing games with me.
No, I'm not playing
because that,
games
if you look, oh, now you're not letting me hold it. So therefore, no.
What you should be doing is getting in touch with the boss, tell him to stop messing around and make the payment because all this is going, okay? That's what you should be doing.
Later, as the sheriffs start removing goods...
I just said I'm settling the bill and you're telling the guy to take the bike, so I don't understand.
Tempers flare in the shop.
All you have to say is excuse me.
I did, I said excuse me.
I'll call the police, Lawrence. Police, please.
Enforcement agents Rob Foster and Gerald Anderson are in West London restaurant Beach Blanket Babylon.
Do you have any documentation to show who trades here at the moment?
They're here to collect unpaid wages owed to former barman Joe Dent. So far, the manager has claimed that the restaurant's no longer being run by the company named on the sheriff's writ, so Gerald has gone off to look for evidence. But he soon returns.
They caught me upstairs and he went, downstairs.
Did he really?
I went up to the top up there and I wandered around upstairs and he went, yes, he was talking to somebody else. So maybe the director. He was talking to somebody else in a room and he went, downstairs.
Although enforcement agents are entitled to search the building for assets, the manager appears to be cooperating, so Gerald is content to do as he's asked for the time being, rather than start a confrontation. The softly approach seems to be working. When the manager rejoins them, he's asking about the debt.
The guys have messaged me asking about if you have paperwork.
Yep.
And also the money.
So what we have is a High Court writ that commands us to attend here today. It doesn't actually say to come here and collect payment. It orders us to come here today and remove the assets.
Remove them?
To remove all the tables, chairs, tills, etc.
Alcohol, stocks, everything. We're here to remove everything.
But we're sensible, we'd rather take money.
The balance as it stands at the moment is £1,733.47. So what this is, it's a formal notice. It gives the owners of the company the opportunity to pay by 2015 hours on the 18th of the 10th, which is today. If not...
They have access to
I'll give you an account letter now with all the details of our payment systems on there. What my colleague will do is give you the paperwork with all the account details on it.
Write the reference number on the top.
If they've got a debit card or credit card, they can just pay it that way and we're done and gone.
Yeah.
If not, 5 past the second.
Or we can take cash from you from behind the till.
Yep.
And that was a bit of a turnaround for the books, where all of a sudden he's coming back and saying how much.
When the manager comes back again, things start to get interesting. He's now got someone new on the phone.
Hello, there we are. I couldn't hear you. Sorry. Let me just step out here so I'm a bit quieter.
It's Brett Newmark, the son of Robert Newmark, the band company director named on the writ.
I'll send you the payment link via the mobile number. It'll show up on my end once it's been paid. Once that's done, we're gone straight away. End of the matter. All right, Mr. Newmark. Thank you very much. Thanks. Bye-bye.
He's coming.
What's that?
Brett.
No.
No.
If you give my colleague Brett's number, he'll text him a link and then we'll get it sorted from there.
Okay, good.
So I've just had a phone call successfully from Brett. Now, Brett is the known son of one of our defendants, Robert. He wants to get it sorted. He wants to get us out of here as soon as possible. And he has agreed that if we send him a payment link, he will settle the balance immediately. And hopefully, within a few minutes, we could be gone.
That's been sent.
They send the link, and now it's a waiting game.
He's not touched it yet.
15 minutes later, Rob and Gerald are starting to lose hope.
I presume Brett knew that I was sending this through to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he hasn't done anything yet.
Then, all of a sudden...
Here we go. Pending. Processing. What we need to see in there now is that processing turn to success. Hey, we have a success.
So that's it done.
Done. Sorted. Yeah, thank you, sir.
No, that's it. Well done.
Thank you very much.
You've got that form I've left you.
Yeah.
Have a good evening. Ta-da.
Your boss said that you've got to give me a pint of gin and tonic.
Cheers, thank you.
Ta-da.
Ta-da.
An hour after they arrived, Rob and Gerald have received payment in full of £1,733.47.
Brilliant result. I'm very, very pleased for the claimant. It is a tribunal case, so he's had non-payment of wages and whatnot, and that has now been settled in full. So I'm pretty sure the claimant's going to be over the moon.
For Joseph, it's the end of the long fight to get his money.
One thing that I've learned from this whole process is persevere, because it's worth it in the end. It's a really simple process. It's easier than you may think. Go for it. If I can do it, you can do it as well. Thank you very much. It's taken a whole year to get this payment, so I'm really glad that the sheriffs were called and they've done their job.
Mike and Lawrence are at Uno Motorcycles Limited in West London. Almost 4 hours after they first arrived, Mike calls for 2 vans, and removal is imminent.
We're looking at taking 6 bikes and also motorcycle helmets and jackets and gloves.
But just as they're packing up the final items to go in the truck, another man arrives in the shop. He says he's Mr. Ali's cousin. He's got their solicitor on the phone and wants the sheriffs to stop.
Obviously, the documentation relating to this case has been sent to the wrong address, which is fine. Look, I understand you guys are doing your bit.
But the only thing is, though, my colleague turned up 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, but the paperwork is still with the courts, and the courts haven't haven't.
That's neither here or there.
But then, how? That's not his fault, then, is it?
The money will be held in our account for 14 days.
Right.
Okay, so if he gets it in court within that time and the judge sees it in his favour,
he can get reimbursed.
Okay, then he'll be reimbursed.
I get that. But listen, my friend, you don't pay bills and then say, "I'll wait for my 14 days to come back the money."
Yeah, I will.
No, you will not.
I know that because I know that I know the system.
No, you don't. No.
Yeah, I do know the system. That's the thing.
All we're doing here is going round and round in circles, okay? The only thing that's going to stop this is payment, full stop.
Which
so it's pointless talking about anything else, because we're not interested, okay?
But right now you're making an enforcement on the incorrect address.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
The removal vans have now arrived.
I don't think these are our vans.
And whether they like it or not, Uno Motorcycle stock is about to go in them.
This one, this one, the yellow Yamaha,
these three,
then there's a black one, and then the red one.
Red one.
Okay.
But Mr. Ali's cousin has other ideas.
You can't remove the bikes.
We can.
You can't stop us removing the bikes.
Okay. Are you going to be stopping us removing them? Because interfering with a High Court enforcement agent carrying out a High Court writ, okay, it's an arrestable offence under Schedule 68.
As the first items are carried to the van, the situation starts to get tense.
Listen, my friend is on. Excuse me.
Can you not push me out of the way?
Well, I'm trying to move out here.
No, all you have to say is excuse me.
I did. I said excuse me.
I tell you what, I'm going to call it. I'll call the police, Lawrence. Police, please. Hello, my name's Mr. Perkins. I'm a High Court enforcement agent. I'm at a property. We're doing a removal. Looks like there's going to be a breach of the peace any minute soon. We've got recovery on the way, and extra people are turning up.
Finally, as Mr. Ali's cousin realises he can't prevent the removal, for the first time today, there's talk of payment.
So what's the exact amount to pay now? Tell me.
So you want the full figure now, yeah?
But until the sheriffs are sure the payment really is going to be made, the removal must continue.
Confirm with
I'm
the
talking
contractor.
to you about settling the bill.
That's
and he's
fine.
Carrying on.
He's going to carry on until it's been done and dealt with, all right?
Well, he can bring him back then if that's the
That's
case.
fine. He will.
He has to. Are you going to put back on the shelves?
No, we'll stack them up like they're stacked up.
My friend, don't touch the bike, please. You're not qualified to touch that.
No.
1 minute, I'm settling the bill. I just said I'm settling the bill, and you're telling the guy to take the bikes. I don't understand.
Until payment is made in full and we've got the whole figure, then we'll start bringing it back in.
My friend, I've got more than enough money to cover this debt.
I'm not saying you have,
I told you,
all right?
I'm giving you my card to settle it.
Satisfied the man really is going to pay, Mike takes off the pressure.
Right, for now, stop loading, all right?
It's got a little bit heated, but I mean they're still discussing. They're still trying to avoid the situation, bring the solicitor into it. At this moment in time, I think he is going to pay. But they could have done this about 5 hours ago. It's ridiculous.
Inside the shop, the man is now making a payment on his card.
6695.
Should have a message come through in the next 10 seconds. Lawrence, start unloading the van, mate, please.
The payment goes through, and the job is over.
Mohammed, I wish you turned up earlier on. Thank you very much, my friend.
It's been a slog, but the sheriffs are leaving with payment in full.
It took until the contractors turning up to actually show that we weren't bluffing and we actually meant business, and we was going to remove to them to decide to make a payment. So yeah, we got a good result. It took us 5.5 hours, but we don't leave until the job's done.
Now, the man who never got his bike back from Uno Motorcycles
Well done.
will finally get the money he's owed. Anyone can use the county courts to recover money they're owed. Nearly 2 million claims are made every year in England and Wales, involving everything from poor work or faulty goods to unpaid invoices. Claims can be filed by post or online for a small fee. Both parties in the case will be asked to submit evidence, and you may have to attend a court hearing. If you win your case, a county court judgment or CCJ will be issued against the debtor. If they still don't pay, it's time to call the sheriffs. Enforcement agents are normally tasked with visiting a number of different debtors every day, so it's vital to get from A to B as quickly and efficiently as possible. Today, Mike and Tommy are in London, and on their list is a large, well-known security company.
We're going to be looking for G4S, Care and Justice Services. Obviously, G4S is quite a big company. We're looking for an amount around £2,000, if we can ever get there.
Bogged down in the gridlocked streets, the team are making painfully slow progress.
Good old London traffic.
But then Tommy has a brainwave.
Hey, look, the bikes.
There's Boris bikes.
Unfamiliar with how London's public bike system works, Tommy and Mike decide to check it out.
How much is it? It's only £2 for 24 hours.
It's only 10 minutes away. There's going to be nowhere to park with a van, so I think we're better off taking these.
Yeah.
And do that.
Yeah, job done. Let's do it.
I think let's do it. You got that seat low enough there, mate?
Yeah, it's about right, mate, for my, my short body.
Right. Come on then, son.
Don't go too fast. Oh, I'll tell you what, though, it beats walking.
Yeah, it does.
Dad, wait up.
Come on.
I think we're going down there somewhere, Tommy, to the right.
With the help of pedal power, the sheriffs soon reached their destination ahead of schedule.
Oh, there's nice space over here, Tommy, look. Both of us. Sheriff's 1, traffic 0.
Now to find out whether G4S Care and Justice Limited are going to pay their debt.
What we call enforcement agent. Is anyone available from accounts or legal?
Security asks our camera to leave, while Mike and Tommy take a seat in reception. A few minutes later, they're joined by the legal team. They say they knew about the debt, but hadn't been expecting bailiffs until the following week. The sheriffs show them their paperwork.
This is a notice enforcement from us, letting you know there's a high court risk.
This was sent out 7 days prior to our attendance, and obviously it states that we're going to be attending.
One of the legal team then says that they've applied to have the case set aside.
But the application doesn't stop enforcement.
And that nothing in the building is owned by the debtor company.
We're going to need to see evidence of all of that now. Proof of ownership. If we're going down the road, we're going to have to continue enforcement.
But the debtors' objections don't last long, and pretty soon they agree to settle the bill. They make an online payment, and Mike checks it's in the account.
So that's in, yeah? Brilliant, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
In record time, the sheriffs are on their way to the next job, with payment in full.
Normally, it's a case of speaking to the right person in a big, large corporation like that, which we did very quickly. Got to speak to the right people, got the results in there and out, more or less. Good job.
G4S say that they never received the paperwork regarding this money claim, and that if they had, then the matter would have been resolved without the need for court proceedings or bailiffs.
A tough year has resulted in bad food choices for one couple. New Eat Well for Less on Thursday night at 8. On BBC4 now, Revenge and Rebellion. Neil Oliver brings us some of Scotland's most brutal conflicts with Blood of the Clans. And here next, Belle can't believe what she's seen. So what now? In life.